I'm Rolene Marks. Welcome to the Israel Brief, brought to you by Lay of the Land, where we check out those top stories making headlines every Monday to Thursday. And just a reminder that you can check out our website at www.layoftheland.online. Our Facebook community is at Lottel's site. We would love it if you join us by liking us or following us, and of course sharing our content. And if you would like to view us on YouTube, our channel is The Israel Brief. And if you're watching us right now, please consider hitting that red subscribe button so we get as much news as possible from Israel out to as many people as possible. And of course, if you would like to tweet at us, we are on Twitter at Lay of the Land 5. But let's take a look at those top stories. And following the terror attack in Hadera just 2 nights ago, the Israeli security forces have raided several towns, or Arab towns rather, in the north of Israel. We know that at least 31 homes and locations were searched and 12 people arrested for ties with ISIS. That's the Islamic State terror group. Now, the terror group claimed responsibility for the terror attack that claimed the lives of 2 border guards. Now, security forces are on high alert and have expanded throughout the country, and this is as Israel approaches the religious festivals of both Ramadan and Pesach. Meanwhile, Defense Minister Benny Gantz postponed his trip to India because of the current security situation. Now, talking security, yesterday King Abdullah, the King of Jordan, met with Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas in Ramallah. This is a rare visit for the Jordanian king and the first time in 5 years that he has met the Authority President in Ramallah. Now, while this was happening, the Negev summit was taking place in Sde Boker, featuring the foreign ministers from Israel, the United States, Morocco, Bahrain, the United Arab Emirates, and Egypt. And we do know now that Jordanian officials were invited but declined to attend. Now, in the meeting with Mahmoud Abbas, the Palestinian Authority president told the Jordanian king, "We are one." However, the Jordanian king responded by saying, "We're here to listen to you and see where Jordan could possibly help." Meanwhile, it has been made public that Public Security Minister Omer Bar-Lev met in secret with Jordanian Foreign Minister Ayman Safadi to discuss ways to maintain calm during the upcoming festival of Ramadan. During this time of the year, there is usually a significant uptick in violence, and we have seen over the last couple of weeks several terror attacks, at least 2 in the last week or so. And also earlier today, Defense Minister Benny Gantz met with King Abdullah in Amman, also to discuss ways to maintain much needed calm during Ramadan, and extended his wishes of Ramadan Kareem to the Jordanian people. Now, the whole world has been watching Ukraine, and many countries are taking in refugees and seeing where they can help from a humanitarian perspective. And we've been giving this quite a lot of coverage right here on the Israel Brief. But it was reported yesterday that the 10,000th Ukrainian has made Aliyah since the start of the war just last month. Now, these are Ukrainians that are eligible under the law of return by Israel to enable them to become citizens of the country. This is not including the thousands of other Ukrainians who are seeking refuge in Israel until such time it is safe for them to return home. And of course, Israel is doing whatever we can to ensure that they are safe and that they get whatever they need, be it help with education, in some cases jobs, access to medical care, and of course food. Now, one thing that has been receiving a lot of attention is Israel's field hospital, the Kochav Meir. I have seen some mainstream media news sites giving it some coverage, and we're very proud to report that the hospital is seeing a significant amount of Ukrainians seeking medical attention. And of of course, Israel is extremely proud that we are able to provide this service, the only one of its kind, on the ground in Ukraine. Now, believe it or not, the temperatures are starting to warm up slightly. Many of us were beginning to worry that somebody had stolen the Israeli spring, but we have warmer temperatures despite me being in a sweater today. And warmer temperatures mean everybody is headed to Israel for the summer. And if you're looking for some entertainment, you can look no further than Maroon 5, who will be playing here in May. It was announced earlier today that Paul Anka, the veteran crooner, will also be playing dates in the Holy Land, as well as Canadian band 3 Days Grace. We also know that the Red Hot Chili Peppers are scheduled to perform sometime, and as is the summer in Israel, you can expect us to see many more rockers or crooners coming to join the party here. So all that remains is for you to come and visit us here in Israel. We're open for tourism. We're ready to welcome you here. But that brings us to the end of today's edition of the Israel Brief. Don't forget to check out us on all our social media mentioned just earlier in this broadcast. And don't forget that I'm Rolene Marks. This is the Israel Brief. Thank you for watching. Join me tomorrow for your headlines.